Dumb People Town, and the three of us do this podcast, and it's really an exploration of dumb.
It's a celebration.
Celebration of dumb people doing dumb things.
And how they got there.
Right. We try and figure out, in a positive way many times, how to... Literally, how did these people get to where they... What were the 10 decisions that the guy who got naked with a machete in Florida... And
if this party went bad at 4 a.m., how did it start at 9:30?
We want to figure that out. So the three of us riff. Dan gets stories now sent to him by our audience, which is great.
Yeah.
And they say...
our audience are like our research team.
Sure.
Ears on the ground, and they say, hey, this crazy story happened in my neck of the woods or something up in Canada or in England or Florida. And they send it into us, and all the details, Dan breaks them down, and we don't know what the stories are. So we come to the table with a guest, and just the four of us riff.
It's really just 4 people goofing, and the 5th person is the listener.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite dumb news story, each of you? I know there's a lot.
Yeah, we had one early on about a girl in handcuffs that like somersaulted out of her handcuffs and like fought 4 police officers. Yeah. That one never left me because she just... The spirit of never giving up lived in her.
That's great. I love the guy who was on a first date and tried to impress his date by jumping from one building to the next building, and he couldn't clear it, and he went down and slid between the 2 buildings, and they had to get the fire department to put a hole in the wall of the restaurant on the first floor to get him out. And we were like, how big was the distance between these 2 buildings? Because if it's 10 feet, that's a huge jump.
Right. He's not Spider-Man. No one can do that.
It was 18 inches.
Right.
He couldn't clear an 18-inch.
I'm like, how big was his shoe? It had to be at least like 12 inches, right? I mean,
that was one. I love the story of the people who came into like a Rite Aid or like a CVS. CVS. And
they wanted cheese.
And no one was there, right?
They were there when they walked in. They said, "Where's the sliced cheese?" They found the cheese. They made their way back up front, and no one was in the store.
Like
they were locked in the store.
And the employees thought by the way that the customers walked in that they were afraid of them, so they locked themselves in a storage room. But to me, the funniest thing is like asking for where the sliced cheese is in like a pharmacy.
Right. So then, in classic Dumb People Town fashion, the three of us and our guest Ryan Sickler tried to figure out what other items are in the row with.
Hey man, where's the sliced cheese?
You know, by the brooms and the dustpans, the sliced cheese.
Over by the car batteries.
Over by the Ace bandages.
Oh no, we moved those. Those are by the bedpans now. Right next to the sleeping bag.
And by the mops and the pregnancy tests.
And the thermometers.
Yeah, okay. Sure.